I am the Divine Political Empress. Thank y'all for joining me today. For everyone just popping in, all my newbies, hello. Thank y'all for being here. And for all my returning subscribers, my OGs in the building, thank y'all for supporting me. Thank y'all for keep coming back. Thank you all for subscribing, for your comments, for your likes, for everything. Okay, I appreciate all of the support here on my channel. So I thank y'all for joining me. So this type of video I'm going to do today is a story time. The story time video. So we're just going to chill, we're going to hang out, and I'm going to tell you a personal experience. The topic of discussion today is going to be about starting the block party. Okay? So a few months ago, well actually 2 years ago, when I started my spiritual awakening and I was going through that dark night of the soul, I was exposed to several family members, the only people that were in my already small circle that weren't of my highest good, so to speak. We'll keep it that cute. Um, I was seeing things that they were doing behind the scenes, like, that they were being fake supporters, that they were leaving me in the dust. They were in secret competition with me for what reason, I have no idea, nor do I give a shit. But so, at first when I was going through all of this, it really, really, it hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings. And then having to if y'all have gone through the dark night of the soul, then y'all know what I'm talking about. I had to like rehash everything that I've gone through. And, for me, going through this dark night of the soul, especially like the biggest thing for me, the biggest lessons I've had to learn is one of discernment and one of, relationships. I tend to give my all in relationships, and as an empath, I gave completely to my own detriment, and I didn't ever put myself first or place myself at all for that matter. And so, when all of this happened, my whole life has been about taking care of my family. That's the role I played. I was like mama bear. Somebody needs something, I got you. You know what I mean? You don't even have to ask me, and I already got A, B, C, D, A, one, two, threes, and all of that ready to go. You never had to worry about that because I was always thinking about people, and my empathic self did not want to hurt feelings, and I wanted to be there for my family to show my support, and unfortunately, just because we came in with a certain family dynamic does not mean that that's the way we need to go out. And so as I started doing more healing work, inner child healing, and, all of those things that we do to help be the best versions of ourselves, I started realizing that, in my hour of need, every time that was, I suffered in silence. I was left alone. I wasn't being listened to. People were standing to misunderstand me. And, I know what I bring to the table, and they weren't matching my energy, and so being around all that toxicity, all of this downplaying what you do, and I say one thing to your face and I'm talking shit about you behind your back. All of that stuff didn't fly by with me. And as I started seeing these people farther and in between, I started realizing that I could hear what they were saying about me as I'm standing right there. And, you could feel that the energy was off. And as I started evolving, or, ascending, or whatever words people want to use, I do not like to use labels. As I started doing more healing work, I started realizing that I was more sensitive to these energies around me because I was actually being more mindful and more aware of them. I wasn't silencing that voice anymore. And, so as hard as that decision was, I had to go ahead and start off real small. This is how I went ahead and did it. First of all, I started just not answering the calls, and then the calls started getting more and more frequent. And, it irritated me, but it also I was hurting inside, because I knew that I was outgrowing my family and that they weren't good to be around all the time because I was protecting my peace and I was protecting my energy and I was putting me first for once in my entire life. And the fact that they didn't understand that, the fact that they thought, as people tend to do, especially family, if y'all know what I'm talking about, they for some reason, and in Polynesian culture, they for some reason think that everybody need to be all up in your business and we need to be knowing everything about you, where you at, what you're doing, who you with, and so it hurt me that they were coming at me with all these frequent calls and then, these text messages and, DMing me on the down low, you know, telling me that I'm hurting the family and I'm doing this, that, or whatever, and who do I think I am, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Case in point, it hurt me, then it irritated me, then it pissed me off. And then I said, you know what, man? I have to accept these people for exactly who they are. They have shown themselves and I have been exposed to them. My spirit team came in and told me exactly what it is, and I'm not going to misinterpret shit. Not no more. I'm not going to not listen to that voice that's been telling me. I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. We see red flags from like day one. We push them off, we push them aside. You know what I mean? Uh, and as empaths, we think that we can fix everything. We think we can fix people. We think if we just motivate people, we help people out, you know what I mean? That they're going to do better and be better people because if we are living by example, they should be doing the same. And in my case, that wasn't the case, and the only people that were in my circle was my family members. They were my everything. And so it hurt me to not pick up phone calls. It hurt me to not answer the text messages. It hurt me getting these voicemails at first. But, I realized, like I said earlier, I had to just accept that people are who they are. They have already shown you who they are. Believe them. And so that's exactly what I did. And as hard as it was, like I said, I chose me. I know who I am now. I know my worth and my value, and not nobody is going to come in there and fuck that shit up no more. You're not bringing toxicity to my life. You're not bringing any fuckery or bullshit into my life, especially when I have worked so hard to be who I am, to be where I am today, and I've come so goddamn far. I'm not looking back anymore. You know what I mean? So after silencing the phone numbers and everything, I finally decided. It took me a couple of weeks. I'm not going to lie to you. It took me a couple of weeks. And I finally said, you know what? I'm going to start blocking these numbers. And then I start putting people on the block list. And then I started taking them back out. And then I was like, I felt like my spirit team was coming in like, girl, you better put them on the motherfucking block list and keep them there. You know who you are. And you know what you are not going to stand for. So, when spirit tells you something, you listen. Well, at least you should. And I've been trying to get better and better at that. But we're only human. You know what I mean? We're going to make mistakes. It is so much easier said than done, oftentimes than not. And so that's exactly what I ended up doing, stopped answering the phone calls. Eventually, I silenced the numbers. Then I started blocking. And then when the voicemail started coming in and I see the voicemail icon up, I stopped listening to them. I started just scrolling down and deleting it. And as hard as it was also very liberating and it was very freeing for me. You know, um, I stopped showing up to events. And, I miss my nieces and nephews. I'm missing the birthdays and everything. I want to celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day and the holidays with everybody, but I choose my peace over them. Like I said, I want y'all to know that you all should love. It's okay to love people, but love yourself more. Are you willing to sacrifice who you are as a person, for people who don't recognize your greatness in who you are. They want to stand and misunderstand you. You know what I mean? Who's more important? You cannot take care of others until you take care of yourself. And speaking of that, that brings up a song that y'all really should go check out by PJ Morton and Jojo. I'll go ahead and link that below. It's called My Peace. Um, how does it go? I'm changing things around this time. I'm doing things that give peace of mind. So if you're not asking to my high, or if you're not adding to my high, there you go. I'm gonna have to tell you goodbye. 'Cause I'm done. And then the trumpets. If you're trying to take away my peace, I'm done. If you got bad energy, I'm done. Something like that. Don't mind my singing. And no, I do not own the copyrights to that song, so please don't knock me for it. Okay, so y'all should really go check that out. Like I said, I'll link that below. And it is exactly that. I choose my peace over anything, and I'm not going to be dealing with the fuckery. So as I started doing that more, and I started believing in myself more, and I started putting more self love and self care into myself, I realized that that shit ain't worth it. And it became easier and easier and easier for me. And eventually they dropped off. How do I still get things that they're saying behind my back and this, that, or whatever? Y'all are spiritually gifted. If you're on here, you know what I'm talking about. No, the evil eye is real in these spiritual and regular streets. I still wish them well. I still pray for them, but they're not welcome here, no more. And if y'all see me looking down, you're sorry. I'm looking at my notes. Okay. So, y'all might want to be knowing how to tell when it's time to start a block party. Um, First of all, listen to your intuition. Y'all get red flags all the time. You know when something rubbing you the wrong way. It's itching at you. It's kind of sort of like, to me, I picture it like nails scratching on a chalkboard, And it just tells you like there's a feeling, there's an off feeling there, you know. If you're around certain people, maybe you notice or you find that you're stammering on your words or you're stuttering, around them. Like you got a whole bunch of goddamn shit in your head, but when it comes to being around certain people, you feel stuck. And that's probably because somebody's trying to fuck with your throat chakra. You know what I mean? That those were probably the people that tried to silence you, you know? So, that's another way. Um, Clearly, if y'all got proof, like I said earlier, y'all got the proof, right? If people show you who they are, believe them. I mean, that's like the most biggest way to know. I mean, the evidence is right there in front of your face, you know, on who these people are, what they're bringing to the table, who they are to you in your life, you know. Um, if you're noticing like your mood changing when you're around certain people in certain environments, or for me personally, when I was younger, because I've clearly always been an empath, whether I knew it or not, when I was younger, I used to take like 4 or 5 showers. And I kept saying that I feel dirty, like I can't get the stink off of me. So that would be the way I would describe it. Like if you feeling like that spiritual stink, so to speak, you know what I mean? You feel that nastiness when you're around people. You feel that energy, you know what I mean? Like a cloud of, I don't know, gas or something. You just standing right all up in it. That's the kind of thing that I'm thinking of. Like I said, it feels off. The energy feel bad. My empaths, y'all know. Y'all know when the energy off. Like when you walk in a room, you can feel it. You know what I mean? To me, when I walk in there, it just feels really loud. And like I said, dirty. It's like being in motherfucking Labyrinth in the eternal bog of stench. If y'all ain't watched that movie, get on it. You late. If y'all have, y'all know what I'm talking about. When Ludo was standing over there and he was like, "Oh, smell bad," or whatever he said. He said something along the lines of that, but it's exactly that, you know. And obviously, if you're being used and abused, if a person making you feel bad about yourself, making you question who you are, your actions, questioning your feelings, you know what I mean? Etc., etc., etc. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Then, it might be time for y'all to start that block party. Okay. Let's see here. Sorry about that. I'm looking at my notes. So, like, there's a couple of ways you can start the block party. I mean, if you feel the need to explain to people why you're going to take a break from them, if you feel like you need to give that explanation to them, then you're more than welcome to. I would just, err to caution there. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all don't need to be over explaining yourselves. These people know what they're doing to you. So why do you need to give them an explanation? Just try not to over explain. Please try not to over explain. Keep it short, simple, sweet, and that's it. However they take it is however they take it. You know what I mean? Or you can do exactly what I did. I've spent decades trying to tell these people, who I am, how to love me, this, that, or whatever. No things that you should ever have to do. Okay? Because if you're given that, they should be giving that to you in return. That tells you that people are capable of doing it. They don't lack the capability. Okay? If they want to follow the devil and his minions and whatever the fuck they're doing, that's a choice that they make. But what are you worth? What are you willing to sacrifice for your happiness, for your peace? So as if those things are really important, you're more than welcome to just cut off all contact, do exactly what I did. I didn't give you no explanation. I've been trying to explain to you my whole life. I have been showing you through action how I feel about you and how important you are in my life. If you're not going to do that for me, then bitch, you out. I don't care who you are. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So, certain reasons to start the block party, you know, you outgrow people, clearly. That'll happen. If you are learning, growing, and evolving, people are gonna come and go just like seasons change. So and then there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Let's see here. Toxicity, clearly. Toxicity of any kind, abuse of any kind, you know, um, and pretty much everything that I said earlier about how it might be time to start the block party. Just make sure that whoever y'all with, they match your energy. If you know what you bring to the table, you know your worth and value, and these motherfuckers aren't matching that, no way, no how. They won't even give you an ounce, and you gave them a whole motherfucking ocean. Then, dude, that's block party on deck, and I'm gonna need y'all to call 1-800 block party. Call it. Get your entire life and choose you above all else. Period. Alright, y'all. Well, that's it for my long ass video. If y'all stayed this long and watched me go from A to Z, 1, 2, 3, 7, I don't even know. Whatever I did, if y'all are still here, I thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for supporting me. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate all of the love and support. And I hope this really helps somebody. I don't even care if it's all over the place. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. If it's time, it's time. It might be time for you to start that block party. And I'm gonna need you to have the courage to go ahead and go forth with that if that is what you need to do. Choose you above else, baby. All right, I love y'all. I'm rooting y'all on. Okay? Y'all can do this. Y'all are ready. You have been through too much in your life to turn back. So keep on moving forward. All right. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day, night, whatever, wherever y'all at. Okay. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.